Hi, my name is Alexandru Cristian Balmuș, or simply Alex. I'm a software developer with 10 years of experience, and I've been working for NES for more than 3 years now. Last year, I've been selected to be part of the CTO Associates Forum, which is an awesome opportunity to professionally develop yourself. You get to meet some of the brightest people in the company. You get to deal with interesting client requests, and you'll get in touch with the latest in software development trends and software trends in general. Now, being part of this forum is also challenging, but that's okay, right? That's what we're here for. We like challenges. And one of the challenges could be that the client requests may not contain sufficient details. The problem may not be properly presented. Also, it may happen that you might not have enough prior experience in that area, or no experience at all. So, does that mean that you can't help out? Well, if you keep an open mind and try to think outside the box, you may actually be able to do so. It turns out that when you have several years of experience behind you, working with several technologies, programming languages, frameworks, you start seeing certain patterns. Sometimes it's just history repeating itself under different shapes. Now, you also get a certain level of confidence that you may be able to deal with new issues. So, I will give 3 examples of things that I've worked on, which I've contributed for as part of this forum. So, one client request came from Brooklyn. They developed an Android app which exhibited performance issues on some of the screens. Now, they requested an Android expert to your device. Unfortunately, I'm not an Android expert, but I have worked with several UI technologies before. I've worked in Delphi, I've worked in Java Swing, Eclipse, SVP, and also a little in the C++ framework, Qt. And I know that every UI framework has at least one thing in common: a single UI thread for doing UI operations. That's because making a multi-threaded UI is not really practical. It's terribly hard to do that. So that's why they always use a single UI thread. So if you happen to do expensive operations on the UI thread, you'll get in trouble. So what I've suggested to them is examine what exactly is happening on the UI thread and try to see if you can offload some of the work onto some background worker threads. Also, I researched for some proper documentation that describes possible performance issues on Android, and I've suggested them to check out that link, and the client appreciated this effort. Another thing I've investigated was a request from the Canadian Tire. They required a HiveQL converter. They couldn't find one, and they asked us if we know such a technology. Now, this time I had no prior experience with HiveQL. I had no idea what that was. I've searched for such a converter, but could not find one. Then I thought I'd say, let's see what this HiveQL thing is really about. So it turns out that HiveQL is pretty much SQL with minor differences here and there. So if for HiveQL you can't find a converter, for SQL there are plenty. So I've suggested then that they first convert to SQL first, I've also pointed them to one such converter. And then they can just tweak out the minor differences to make it HiveQL compatible. And this was also appreciated by the client. Now, another thing I've investigated was a request regarding a problem with a product that was based on SharePoint version 2010, and upon upgrade to SharePoint 2013, there were some issues when trying to connect to an LDAP system other than Microsoft AD. Now, again, I had no prior experience with SharePoint. However, I do have experience with Alfresco, which in many ways can be seen as a SharePoint replacement. I've also investigated a little bit the integration that Alfresco has with LDAP. So this gave me some confidence that I may be able to come up with a solution to this problem. So I started researching about differences between these SharePoint versions and suggested one possible cause, which is a difference in the path to a security config file that has changed between versions. So these are examples as to how you can leverage prior experience to come up with solutions, or at least possible solutions, to certain problems. Okay. Besides working on these client requests, as part of the CTO Associates Forum, I am currently offering an intensive training in design patterns, and I really enjoy doing this. So, being part of this forum is fun, and I encourage every member of this forum to try and contribute more. And I also encourage people in NES to show interest in joining this forum. That's about it. Cheers.